Welcome back to Andersen Acres. It's time for our weekly update where we wrap up what we did each day and then finish off with a question. Today is Saturday. It is cold. It's cold. It is very, very, very cold. I'm not staying out here very long. It is too cold to exist. Okay? Here come a bunch of birds. They don't think it's cold. They're going that way. So, they don't think that's turkey. They don't think it's cold. I think it's cold. It's getting late in the day. It was far too cold to exist today. It's going to be even colder tonight. That's going to suck. But it's supposed to warm up this week. If it sounds like I've said that 6 or 7 times, it's because they keep telling us it's going to warm up. It's cold. I'm done with the cold, but honestly, what am I supposed to do about it? It's just too cold to exist. Anyway, that's what's going on Saturday. It's literally just cold. I'm not spending any more time out here than I have to. You know, give food, give water, make sure everyone's healthy and safe, run away. That's what I'm doing. Hopefully it'll be a little warmer on Sunday. Well, it's Sunday, and we have an issue. There's a rabbit on the loose. So, Trunk escaped. Trunk escaped from over here. So what we've done is opened up the pen to try to catch her. And she's in the pen right now. And I don't think I'm going to be able to catch her. I don't think. But I'm going to try. So, fully expect that by Monday, she's still going to be out. But we're going to give it a shot. At least, we hope we can give it a shot. That's been our entire Sunday. Literally an escaped rabbit. That one right there, she's in the pen right now. She's not going to stay in the pen. Oh well, I'm going to give it a try. Well, it's Monday night. Have we had success in catching this dang rabbit? She's not in there. No. You can't see it, can you? She's right there. No, we have not had success in capturing this rabbit. I don't think we're gonna. I think we officially have a yard bunny. Maybe we'll catch her on Tuesday. Maybe. By the way, there's Turkey. He's fine. It's her. A little weirdo. It's her. Well, it's Tuesday. And it's muddy as heck. Look at this. It is muddy as heck because it got kind of sort of warm. And now everything is muddy and gross and sticky. That's the time of year we're in now. So it's absolutely disgusting. So we're trying very hard to stay out of the muck, out of the goo. Except for him. He doesn't care if he's in the muck and the goo. Yes, he's getting... Oh my goodness. You shook and a bunch of hair came off you. Look at this. He is shedding. That shake and that little bust of hair, that means it's shedding season. It'll be fun. Shedding season with a mini horse. It's always entertaining. So, what did we do today? We still have not caught Trunk. Not even close. I don't think I can see her from here. I'll probably post a picture I took this morning. Yeah, I can't see her. I can't see her from here. There's Turkey. Turkey's looking at me. Turkey's looking at me. Arwen's pushing me. I'm not opening the gate. But yeah, we have not caught Trunk. She is running around the yard like a crazy rabbit. She goes into the pen to eat. However, she's not staying in the pen for us to shut the door. She's the most annoying rabbit on the planet. Will we eventually catch her? I don't know. Stay tuned. Well, it's Wednesday. Everyone's doing all right. We put 2 rabbits over there in the pen because we don't think they're going to have babies. We just don't think so. So because we don't think they're going to have babies, we put them back in their pen, and that's actually a good thing. I don't want them to have babies. I want them to have babies in April, not in March. So we're going to breed them to their appropriate males. We match based on genetics. So we're going to breed 2 of them at the end of March for end of April babies, because it's too cold for babies. Even though it's not bad. It's a little windy, but it's not cold today. But otherwise, everyone is doing okay. Birds are in the shed. And tonight is taco night. So that's what we're doing tonight, is making tacos. I did a little bit of planting today, not a ton, but a little bit. Planting indoors for transfer in a few weeks. Because we have a short planting season. If I don't start things indoors, we're not getting anything planted. Anyway, everyone's doing fine. The quail are hiding because it's freaking cold. It's not freaking cold. We only say it is because it's still March and it's still snowy. But the quail are hiding because it is a little windy. So that's not very much fun. It's a little windy. And no, we haven't caught trunk. So we are still down a bunny. Even though she's still here, she's just not here. Anyway, that's about it for us here today on Thursday. We'll see what's going on. No, Wednesday. Sorry. We'll see what's going on Thursday. It's still supposed to be sunny and not too cold. But I think the wind is sticking around for a few days. Well, another day, another unsuccessful attempt to capture that rabbit. She's over there. So, that's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen today. That's okay. It's simply not going to happen. However, we have fantastic rabbits here, fantastic rabbits there, and one very annoying rabbit currently under the barn. What are we going to do about it? Nothing, I bet. Absolutely nothing. But everybody else is doing really well. We don't think these 2 are going to have babies. We just don't. So they're here doing their bunny thing. But they're definitely not going to have babies. So we're fine. So because we're not going to have babies, we're not worrying about them. We will rebreed 2 rabbits. Definitely stump, because we want babies out of stump. And we'll do that, at the end of the month. It's still too cold. So it's not cold today, but it's cold. So it's still too cold. Anyway, we'll see what's going on tomorrow, on Friday. Well, it's Friday. There's the doggies. There's Rowan. Doggies, doggies, doggies. Everyone's doing great. Still, yeah, we don't have the rabbit. She's over there. We do not have the rabbit. I'm not even going to pretend that I have the rabbit. I don't. There's turkey, though. We have the turkey. Is that good? We don't have the rabbit. We're not going to worry about it. We are just leaving it alone. Anyway, the question I got this week is, how have we never had a major illness with our chickens? Because I had mentioned that we had never had a serious illness with our chickens. And there's a good reason for that. It's freaking cold today, by the way. It's 20 below. And I don't understand why. And excuse me. Excuse me. I love you too. I love you so much. I love you the most. Oh, kisses. He needs kisses. But here's some chickens. So, found some chickens. Bunch of them are still out in the bush. So, the question remains, how have we never had really sick chickens? We've never lost a whole bunch to disease. First of all, part of it's luck. Let's be honest. We have been lucky in that we have never contracted Marek's disease. We have been lucky in that we have never contracted one of the many respiratory diseases that show up. You want to come up? Are you coming up? So we've been very lucky there. But the other part is we don't have too many chickens for the space they're in. So we've got some chickens over here. We got some ducks. We got pony. But we have chickens over here. We got chickens out in the field. I don't know if you can see them. But we don't have too many chickens for the space we're in. And what I mean by that is if you have chickens squashed together. Let's see if the rabbit's here. I don't see the rabbit. I see a chicken. A couple of chickens and a duck. That's what I see. I don't see... Yeah, I don't see any, I don't see any rabbit. Anyway, I think we got a duck stuck. I'm going to go help her. But how have we never had a sick chicken? I mean, a disease. We have had chickens that have passed away. I'm getting stalked. But we have had chickens that have passed away. Obviously, some of them too young. Sometimes that just happens, to be honest. So we've never had a disease that like destroyed our flock. Okay? And that's really important. And we do that by not having too many chickens for the space we have. Okay? Because what happens sometimes if you have too many birds in a small space. Are you stuck, honey? There is wire here. No, you're good? I thought you were stuck. You're just stupid. You're slipping on the snow. Okay, fine. We're fine. We're fine. So, we don't have too many chickens for a space. Even when we're using our small breeding coops, we don't have more chickens than they can handle, and they get free range time separate from the birds we don't want them breeding with. We don't jam everyone into a tiny space. We don't have so many chickens that we can't manage them safely or effectively. Because if you have too many birds in one space, disease is practically inevitable. Excuse me, Shadowfax. Okay? Disease is practically... Hi. But disease is practically inevitable if you have too many animals for the space you're in. Okay? Almost inevitable. Because if you're in a small space and you have your birds and they're all locked in a small area, and you're all locked in a small area, what can basically happen is if one bird gets sick, everybody else gets sick too. Okay? Because they are in close confines. Now, disease will never spare you entirely. Okay? Even if you are really, really careful and keep everyone really, really clean and have not too many numbers, not too many birds in one space, and have a pony chasing you. No. But even if you do everything right, a bird is going to get sick. It's going to happen. Okay? It's 100% going to happen. A bird is going to get sick. It doesn't matter what you do. A bird will get sick. What determines how fast that disease spreads is the way you keep your birds. Do you keep them jammed in a small space where only 4 chickens would fit and you've got 8? Disease is going to spread very, very fast. Okay? Do you keep them in a dirty pen so that if one of them has a disease and they end up, maybe that disease is transmitted through their feces, so they poop and all the other animals have no choice but to walk through it, they're going to all get sick. Okay? So it is really important to remember, to keep your birds clean, to keep your birds not overwhelmed. That's why we actually have a shed. You can probably see it through the trees there. There's a small shed back there, and the birds that free range out there, they sleep in that shed. Okay? So they have a spot out there. Here are the ducks. We got the cold. It's freaking cold, so the cold is making my camera flop. But the birds out there sleep out there. They are free range. They can come and go as they please. The birds here sleep here. And they have a small, attached pen for nighttime, but they mostly free range. They're mostly doing whatever they want to do. We don't keep anybody in these tiny areas where there's no space for anyone to move. There is a goat. Okay? We do not do that. That is really why we've never seen widespread disease. Okay? We haven't seen it because it's not an issue. Because our birds are not overcrowded and they're not walking through each other's feces all day long. Because if they're walking through each other's feces all day long, you are going to get sick birds. It's practically inevitable. I'm just looking to see if you guys laid an egg here. You didn't. But it's practically inevitable in that kind of situation. Okay? You're going to end up with sick birds. So because you're going to end up with sick birds, you really should take the time to make sure your animals are not overwhelmed in their space. You should make sure that they are relatively clean. And now chickens and ducks and turkey, they're never going to be 100% clean. Here's the turkey. You're never going to have them be 100% clean. It's not going to happen. But you can keep them relatively clean. Okay? There's always going to be poop. Always. And things are half the time going to look a disaster. But if they have enough space, then they don't have to walk through that poop all the time. And that is so vitally important. Okay? It is so important to these animals. You cannot be in a position where they're walking through their own feces, where they are squished into areas where they can't move, where there are so many birds that if one gets sick, it is going to spread like wildfire before you even notice. So absolutely take care to make sure your chickens and your turkeys and your ducks and your quail are not smashed into areas that were not designed for that many animals. Okay? Proper animal husbandry a lot of the time requires us to look at our space and not get overwhelmed. Not just for your own good, but for the good of the animals. So that is the answer to the why have we not had widespread disease on in our flock. And it's because they have enough space that if one of them gets something, I usually can notice symptoms and isolate that bird for good or ill before it spreads throughout the entire flock. That's why we have many of the same birds year after year after year. Like you'll notice birds like Mira have been here for a while, right? The Spark is not young. These birds are not new. And they have been with us a while. The ducks are new, but we just added them to our flock last year. So, I mean, they're new as in a year ago. They're not new as in new birds. So, it is vitally important that you check your numbers, check your space, make sure you are not overcrowding, make sure they are as clean as you can manage. I understand in the winter it's a different situation. It is difficult to keep them clean. But you do your best. If you do your best and you don't have too many animals for the space that you are providing, then you are more likely to have healthy, happy birds. Free range if you can, yes, but it's not necessary. You can keep your animals fairly healthy without free ranging if you manage your space appropriately. Anyway, that is the answer to that question. We have always managed to maintain a healthy, happy flock by managing the space appropriately and keeping it relatively clean. Even when it looks a disaster, it's still relatively clean. Anyway, that's about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. We'll see you tomorrow.